O'Reilly.
Need a little help? O'Reilly Auto Parts can help. Need advice? We've got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
And now, live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
Aaron's coming back.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to know.
Not too late for your Packers.
I had one question I wanted to ask you. Is that for real? And is it really going to happen? Yeah, Aaron's back.
Why do people keep saying, well, if he's not fully healthy, why is he coming back? Well, he must be fully healthy, right?
That's why he got clearance. Yeah.
Although I don't know if that's the team you want. The first two teams out of the chute are Carolina with one of the best front fours in the league, and the Vikings on turf.
Cold.
Over there.
Cold. Well, cold, almost like turf in Green Bay. But you're right, because look, they gave the Vikes 6 sacks on Sunday, the Carolina front four. So you're right. But you know what? I can't watch Brett Hundley anymore. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it.
Hey, you rallied him against the Brownies.
I know.
That was a determined effort by the Brownies to keep that streak alive.
No, wasn't it?
It wasn't. It was.
You got to work hard at being 0-13. And what are they? 4 out of their last 50 or something like that? They've got a
4 out of 50 now.
Is that
they've won 4 of their last 50.
There you go. So
they started off. The Cleveland Browns started in the All-American Football Conference, which was a rival to the NFL that started, I believe, in 47 or 48 after the war.
Yeah,
and they had Paul Brown running them.
Yep.
The legendary Paul Brown.
Yep.
And they lost 4 out of 59 games in 4 years before they were consumed into the NFL.
So they're going for the All-American Football Conference.
There had been a NFL team in Cleveland called the Cleveland Rams that moved to Los Angeles. Yes, right after the war, I believe. And now the Browns came in, and they had 3 ties and 4 losses in 59 games and won 5 playoff games, 4 championships. And this team has won 4 out of 50.
And when you mean determination, if they get to the 59, they've shown it. Now, this is interesting. So Paul Brown was not part of the original NFL, right?
No, they took it. They kind of like they did with the AFL.
Yeah, right.
They absorbed a couple of the franchises into the NFL.
And then he did something similar with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, Art Modell fired him.
Right.
And then he went and started. He got into the AFL with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins were expansion franchises in the AFL.
Right.
There was an original 8 teams. And then Miami and Cincinnati were the expansion teams, and Paul Brown and his kid, now in his 80s, still runs the team.
So on 2 occasions, Paul Brown got into the NFL through the back door, if you will.
Yes,
right?
that's true. Yeah, and he was still running. Now, I got something for you.
Yeah.
I ran across this today. I need total concentration from the entire staff.
You should have seen this business meeting that we were going through with this young man. That
okay. Well, we might need a young man to help us.
Oh, okay.
Now, how are your Pong skills?
Good.
Were you good at Pong?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
How about the little machine? I can actually say I'm good at one thing. How about the machine that ate up the little men?
Pac-Man.
Oh,
will you show me the international sign? Pat did the international sign. It was like a hand puppet gobbling up commas.
The Pong.
Horrible.
I was not real good at Pac-Man either. But
Pong I could do.
Pong, I didn't like it full speed, but I maybe 2/3.
Right.
I'm wondering if my Pong talents will permit me to try out for this.
Your prowess.
The National Basketball Association on January 1st will start a 17-team NBA 2K E-League. It's a combination of the NBA and Take-Two interactive software services. Jay, we're going to have 17 E-ball franchises. I wonder if I can do it. You think I can if I really quit it up from my Pong days?
You may have been okay with the little Atari basketball where these little stick figures went like this, but you're going to be out of your league with these guys that are doing the Mikulski double pump.
Yes.
No, we're fine. You want to know why we're fine?
Why?
Net neutrality.
Net neutrality.
We can slow it down
Let's slow
to
that
any
LA team.
speed we want with net neutrality.
I was going to start by saying I would really be irritated at the fact that net neutrality is going away if I knew what the hell it was. I would be really
trying to work up.
Even I, when I get worked into a frenzy, like to know actually what it was
And
that
to
I'm
speak with
frenzied
authority.
about.
And we found out from Josh Rosenthal downstairs, it's simply this: your competitor's ability to slow the internet down and screw up the competition. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
really. So we can,
And
with
can
net
they,
neutrality
do they now
repealed,
have,
we can do
they
this.
now have more rights to put what they want you to see first and other stuff?
No, it
or
has
do
to
they
do
still
strictly
have
with speed.
Speed.
Is that
So
how
you would slow, if you are a Comcast provider, you would slow
down.
the Verizon
How can I do that?
ads.
How do I do that?
Don't know how they do it.
So
It's not the speed at which you download a
Right,
book or a movie,
correct.
but if there's advertising for Verizon and you're on the Comcast provider,
okay.
they could.
You know what? I got a computer. My Star Tribune laptop.
Yeah, probably an IBM ThinkPad.
No, it's but it's about 5 or 6 years old.
Okay.
But I like it because
You're used to
I'm
it.
comfy. But it's really slow
Yeah.
when I try to use Google. Do you think somebody's playing games already? Or
Probably
is
not.
Google
I think
one of the slow down people?
No, you probably haven't downloaded your latest updates.
I can guarantee you I haven't downloaded my latest
You haven't
update.
downloaded latest updates, and he probably has not bothered to clear anything off of his desktop.
Right. There
And so
are,
all that's draining is
Right. He's got box scores open from 1956 Brooklyn Dodgers that he was looking at. But the game is still running.
Yep.
But I'm more concerned about the E-League and if I'll get a chance to watch it on TV or not. The 17 franchises, and today, in the last couple of days, we don't have a franchise, by the way.
No, we don't. How'd that
I
even
guess
happen?
the guy from Comfrey is not, the billionaire from Comfrey is not into this stuff.
Okay.
But I don't know what it cost. I would imagine the NBA as an entity is financing it, but maybe just franchises. But there's 17 franchises, and they got these logos. And it's very exciting for the
is
people
interesting.
into this stuff. For the logos that they've revealed in the last,
I want it in.
You're going to see Phoenix Suns logos,
all over
but
Palm.
they're for.
Yeah.
But they won't be the Phoenix Suns logos. They'll be the
Phoenix
E-team.
Bums or
The
something.
No, they're going to have the same name, but they're going to be the E-team.
Oh, okay.
So in other words, you would play for the Suns, but just Pong.
Got
you play Pong.
Okay.
Exotic
But you're on the
Pong.
team. You made the team.
Pong. But you're a Phoenix Sun.
But this one's interactive, so they look like guys when they're out there running around.
Yeah,
right?
So it's like
the
they're playing
graphics
tennis.
are fantastic. Yes, it's not little Atari Space Invaders. These are they've got definition. They've got and they move around. They probably sweat. You know, probably get the guy out there
Now,
sweeping the
here's
court.
what I want to know. Could Tibbs, we're very worried about the minutes the guys are playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
With Tibbs.
Yeah.
We're very.
I didn't know that.
If you're playing E-ball,
Yeah.
can you play them 48 or do you got to
sure.
rest them in that too?
I don't know if they
Tibbs
filtered
might
any.
be intended to be an E-ball coach.
There are settings on certain video games, I know,
That
in
you can
which
tire a guy out?
that players can get tired throughout the course of
What
the
if
game.
they have like pregame sex? You know, which a lot of coaches didn't want you to have back in the day.
That's a mistake.
That's E-League. No. Patrick, that is E-League. That's E-League porn, not E-League
wasn't an option.
Coach, I'm in compliance.
Who was the?
That's E-League porn, not porn.
You mean with somebody else?
Pat, who was the reporter that asked that question every year? You and Joe were just talking about this.
Oh, the Canadian football.
That's
league.
right.
Canadian sport journalists are the greatest people in the world because they're just cynical. And the sports writers up there are fantastic. And there was a guy, what was it? Jim Snuffy Brown or something. Every year at the Grey Cup game on the Friday before the coaches would meet. And
That's their Super Bowl, right?
And he would ask this guy, this legendary guy, would ask if they were going to allow their players. Did they allow their players to have sex during the week?
Yeah.
And then it became a tradition. So all the coaches came up with their own answers. And then this guy died. So the last 5 or 6 years, somebody in the group has been designated to ask the sex question at the Grey Cup. We need that with the humorous and affable Roger Goodell on Friday. Or Belichick. How do you think Belichick had handled that one?
Would Boxer be a guy that would have asked that question?
He's a baseball guy.
He's just baseball.
He don't mess with it. But Terry Jones from Edmonton, who's a legendary old guy, I think he's in charge of the sex. He actually wrote something about being in charge of the sacred duty of asking the sex question at the Grey Cup. We'll be back. Well, yeah, they had Milt Pappas and didn't they trade? Isn't Milt the one who got traded for Lou Brock? And they
could have been because I thought he was with them.
Didn't they make that trade?
Leading into 69, maybe?
They gave up Lou Brock.
Yeah.
They sent Lou Brock to the
Cardinals. Was it Ordinals?
No.
This
They
Cardinals.
sent Lou Brock to the Cardinals for, I think it was.
We're talking about
it wasn't Pappas.
Talking about the 69 Cubs.
69 Cubs, yes. They kind of
I don't
frittered
quite
it
remember
away.
those guys.
Yeah, that was my team as a little You don't remember? What's
All
wrong with
right,
you?
as a Chicago boy.
Yeah.
I got a name for you. I'm going to do this later on this day in history. But you know who's still alive? Charlie Trippy.
Don't know Chuck.
Charlie Trippy was the star of the Chicago Cardinals, the football team,
right?
That left town, I believe, for the 1960 season.
And went to St. Louis, didn't they?
But Charlie led them to their only championship in the history of the Cardinals franchises. 1947.
Wow.
But
that was back when it was still
birthday
Chicago.
Today.
Right?
Yes, 96th birthday today. But they went to Chicago, St. Louis, and Arizona. They only won one title.
Right.
1947. And they hadn't, when they went to the playoffs, I think the year they went to Super Bowl, which wasn't that long ago, right? 6 years ago?
Yeah.
They had only played in one playoff game since 1947.
So between them and the Browns,
like
who's worse?
Well,
right?
Nobody's worse than the Browns.
Right now than the
for
Browns.
Sure.
Now, the Cardinals, were they not part of the largest loss ever in NFL history? Was it the Redskins? It was 73 nothing?
No, that was the Bears. The Bears beat the Redskins 73 to
That was the
nothing.
Bears. Okay, not the Cardinals. I thought it was the Cardinals.
Bears beat the Redskins
73
nothing in the NFL title game.
So you think 49 nothing's bad or 41 nothing? What did the Vikes get beat by?
41 donut? Was that what it was?
41
donut.
34-0 at halftime when Rob Brzezinski started yelling at me for laughing at him. In the press box. Hey, Kenny, did you see who the Twins got today?
No.
The pitcher, Fernando Rodney.
Yeah.
The only reason we really are happy about this is he's the guy that wears his hat
sideways,
cocked to the left,
flat,
drives the mayor nuts.
Yeah.
I think we're going to all have to come in here Monday with our baseball hats flat, turn to the side, and
a flat
flatten
brim.
out. Yes, that's right.
It's got to be a flat brim.
Yes, this is just fantastic. I think it's great.
He looks like he's got half a brain. Matt just showed me a picture, but Such can literally cannot function when he sees somebody wearing a hat indoor.
No.
All
And
functions cease.
How about a hat turned cockeyed?
Oh,
That would
that'll make him crazy. Because that's worse than the backwards hat, right?
The backwards, yeah.
Yeah, that's worse than the backwards hat.
It is funny. A lot of Trump voters don't like that hat like that. A lot of 70-year-old white guys.
This is a political
never
thing
like
now?
that. Oh, it's a political.
Why does everything have to be political?
Jeez.
Net
No, but
neutrality became political.
Yes,
it's
that's right.
okay.
You know,
Everything is.
Damn, I'm upset if I knew what it was.
I'm reading about it right now, and I don't understand why we ended net neutrality.
Well, that's what I asked Josh Rosenthal earlier.
It doesn't make any sense
Because
to me.
the
it was
big
apparently
companies,
doing-
the big
yeah.
companies are in favor of it, and we're in favor of big companies now. So isn't that it?
Yeah, the big companies want, they believe
They don't like the
regulation.
They don't like net neutrality.
Right.
Well, Netflix is a big company, and they're mad, and they're fighting it.
True.
So when I go to my TV to get Netflix, it's going to take me longer to get my show. Is that it or what?
No, how does
Not
it
yet, but they may have that potential down the. They will have that potential. They're not going to do it right away,
So
but maybe
when
down
I
the
use
road.
my wireless through my TV to get my Netflix, they can screw up my Netflix.
Whoever your provider
Comcast?
is, if Comcast is your provider, they have the ability to slow
Yes,
specifically whoever your.
But the good news about that is I have the ability to tell Comcast to go bleep themselves if I don't like paying my $250 a month anymore.
if you
right?
haven't
That's what
signed
they-
that 2-year contract.
right. And that's what the other guy, the competition would be hoping you would do, correct?
Yeah.
Is to move to another carrier then.
Yeah, it would possibly if you get upset
you
with
get
them
mad.
because.
Yeah.
But the speed that you download the ball game, that's not going to be affected. That doesn't affect anything. It's the carriers or
How
the
about
ads
those-
from competition
How
that they
about
can slow.
those peculiar sites that
Yeah,
some
what about
people
my
might-
porn? What's that going to do to my porn?
Kenny got a little more blunt. I was trying to show some class here.
Right. www.kennysplace.com.
Yeah, you know what? This just makes me want to get. I just want to get rid of everything. I want to lose the iPhone. No more laptop. I want it all to
Bring
go
back Larry
away.
Flint.
Bring back the Playboy under the mattress.
Yeah.
Home delivery.
My kid just went and bought an iPhone. He goes, "They still sell flip phones. I'm buying you a flip phone for Christmas."
Perfect. It's all you need.
I swear
I
to
got
God,
one
I'm
and
going
I
to
can
it.
give you one. You can have it.
It's all you need.
Just
All you want to do is call and text, right? That's all I'd ever want to do.
You know what, though? There's something going on with my cell phone because it's draining the power.
You've got 47 things open on it.
Yep, that's what
Well, how
it
do you
is.
close it?
Swipe up.
I guarantee
want
it.
a close button. Where's my flip phone?
Let me see that thing. I'll tell you how many things he's got open
All
on
right,
it.
you look at that, but meanwhile,
I
let's
don't
go
know
back
if
to
I want you
Rodney
look at
quick.
everything.
Well, I won't look at
Yeah.
it. I just want to see how much you've got open.
Let's
oh, yeah.
go back.
I can tell you right now, he's got 20, 38, 43 things open.
I can see it checked quick too.
43
I know
things
that?
open. Well, because you see the little numbers? You got 20, 18, 2,
I
3.
don't even get mail here. Why do they keep telling me my
Why
mail's
is the
open?
mailman coming by?
Welcome to Tech Corner.
Let's go back to Rodney for a quick second because I see in 2019, I see a lone man up in the stand saying, "Hey Rodney, fix your hair, put your head on straight." Joe's gonna get season tickets just to go heckle him. I see you in the dugout. Put your head on straight.
He's not exactly a promising youngster. He's 40 years old.
Yeah, he is from the Dominican.
Yes.
How much they paying this guy for 1 year?
I don't know, but
$5
maybe
million?
This
He's
could
just
be
a closer.
Yeah, he's a closer.
What 16 for two? What was
Salary
it?
2017, $2.57 million.
Well, that's cheap.
Sorry.
They
That's
signed
cheap.
him to a 1 year, $4.5 million
Oh, that sounds
contract,
cheap.
up to
Okay.
6 with
How's
incentives
his
for
record?
this year.
There we
He was
go.
pretty good last
Is he
year.
good?
Yeah, he was pretty good.
He got the
Where'd we get him?
fork ball
Arizona.
sinker type of deal. So, but the good news is he's got the crooked hat. That's all we care about. That's all we care about. Anything to agitate the mayor. That's all we care
I'm in
about.
favor of that.
All right. We just had Coles and I were just regretting the fact back in our Pong days we didn't charge people to watch.
Yeah. With the naked ladies.
Like they're going to do with this. You can stream.
Yeah,
you
people
can
are going to be
stream
big time.
the E-games.
Yeah. All the nerds will be watching.
Oh, man.
Kenny wasn't here for the Pong question.
I did listen to you guys, and we had Pong, and I played it.
Yeah.
Did you know that if you set the sides evenly, that you can walk away and it'll just go back and forth for 100 years?
You can go out and get a beer. And
Absolutely, yeah. And did you ever learn how to do bank shots with the Pong?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was good at the corner shots. That's what I was good at.
English.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time alone as a teenager.
Then they upgraded to Pac-Man, and you and I were both out of luck.
I couldn't do Pac-Man. I was drunk most of the time trying to play Pac-Man.
I hear we've advanced past Pac-Man. Yeah, we've got, the
real
these
guys. Sweat.
Yeah.
We got
Here, what do you got, Johnny Height? Johnny will do a little sports, and then he'll tell us about net neutrality.
I do have a net neutrality story because there's a lot of really bad information coming out of this room today.
Very cool.
Not Josh Rosenthal, though.
No, Josh's was good.
Josh was good.
Well, he's young, right?
He's young. You got it.
That's it.
He sits next to me in the newsroom and started talking about this in 2015. I had no idea what he was talking about. And it was 3 years ago.
He hasn't quit yet?
No, he hasn't quit.
Next to you every day?
Every day. Well, he still regrets it, but he hasn't quit.
Cloudy and 22 degrees. Twin signing, as you guys talked about, Fernando Rodney. He saved 39 for the Diamondbacks last year. He does turn 41 in March. The deal 1 year, and with incentives, he could earn up to $6 million.
Bring back Bartolo. We can have two 40-year-old Dominicans.
Is the big sexy gone?
No, he's still out. I mean, he's not. He's a free agent.
Okay,
but we
well,
can
I
bring
want
him back.
hell
yes,
yeah.
why not?
Kevin Garnett recently sat down with Awful Announcing for an interview that was mostly about his current job at TNT. However, he did talk a bit about his future. He said he'd like to buy the Timberwolves. Let me just read you his exact words. I don't want to be partners with Glenn, meaning Taylor, and I wouldn't want to be partners with Glenn in Minnesota. I would love to be part of a group that buys him out and kind of removes him and goes forward.
Oh, okay. Wow. He doesn't like Glenn?
Let's see, whose side am I going to take in this one? I think I'm going with Glenn Taylor.
He's still your boss, right? That's what I thought.
Were those words said with anger in his heart?
Oh, he's still bitter from Taylor took a shot at him when they first traded him to Boston. And Kevin, by the way, Kevin has made more money than in salary than any player in NBA history, and most of it coming from this team. But Kevin is still one of the most sensitive guys that ever lived.
Well, he can hold a grudge for 30 years.
Yeah,
you got to respect that.
Yeah.
What was the shot he took at him? I don't even remember this.
That he quit on us. Remember when they weren't playing him because they were trying to get him? He was justifiably upset about it because the reason he wasn't playing down the stretch is they wanted to lose games to get a better draft choice. But Glenn took that shot at him, and he's never forgiven him. Even though he came back,
right?
And they gave him a $16 million going away present. They paid him $8 million. 1 year he played about 20 games. The next year he played none.
That's what I mean. Even though he got $100 million before he left here, he's still upset. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Win, it's lovely, but when you lose, it's terrible.
Is that from Charles Barkley?
That's KG.
Is that KG?
I'm assuming Glenn is worth more, Pat. Would that be an assumption?
Yeah.
Financially?
Well, the trouble with any player trying to buy a team now, Kenny, is they're now valued at over $1 billion.
Right.
So nobody can buy one all by themselves.
No, not a player. I mean, even a guy who made $300 million like KG did can't buy one.
Yeah.
Only with a group, really.
Yeah.
Right? He'd have to get a group. Yep. Mm-hmm.
News notes from today, a Minnesota prosecutor says he doesn't yet have enough evidence to charge a Minneapolis police officer who killed an unarmed 911 caller this summer, and he blamed investigators who he said haven't done their job.
Oh, boy.
This is the one where Freeman goes after the investigators. This is incredible.
Mm-hmm. Officer Mohammed Noor shot Justine Ruzchek-Demond in July when she approached his squad car after calling 911 to report a possible sexual assault. Lanham County Attorney Mike Freeman is weighing whether or not to charge the officer. Freeman was captured on video expressing his frustration at a holiday reception last night after he was asked why he hasn't announced charges. He said the investigators haven't done their job yet in the case. His office today declined.
That's the BCA, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's the BCA.
Officer Freeman's office has declined to comment. A spokeswoman for the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, which is leading the investigation, also declined to comment, and the officer at this point has refused to talk to the BCA.
What do you mean by caught on camera? Was it a hidden situation, or
well,
was
it was
there
one of these activist groups who approached him and probably had a phone going or something, right? I'm guessing. And he was at a public event, and they just approached him, and he started answering their questions. And I'm not sure if he realized he was being recorded or not. Either way, the shot he took at the BCA,
maybe it'll jack him up.
That can't do anything for relations.
No.
Oh, my word.
And for him to be commenting on a case like
it's
that,
active,
yes, is pretty unusual. Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty unusual.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
If a guy won't talk to me, if your guy won't talk to you, that means that I'm more likely to charge him.
Meaning the officer?
Yes. If he won't tell me why he's innocent, I'm more likely to charge him.
Well, and Freeman even addressed that part of it, saying the evidence I need to collect, part of the evidence I need to know is what he's going to tell me.
Yeah, well, he's apparently not going to tell it. He's got a lawyer saying,
don't talk.
Quoted again the other day as saying, I told him not to talk.
So one should assume guilty AF.
Well, I don't know if you can assume that, but...
Interesting.
Roy Moore last night released a nearly 5-minute video.
How's Roy?
Still refusing to concede the Alabama Senate.
Still waiting for God to come down and change those ballot boxes.
He also highlighted,
I think God sends him a text message.
He also highlighted his beliefs and read a Bible verse to go along with this. He insisted not all the military and provisional ballots have been counted and said we are awaiting certification by the Secretary of State. The Secretary of State in Alabama told CNN that it's highly unlikely the race will end with anything other than a victory by Moore's opponent, Doug Jones.
I think he's a hard loser. That's what I think.
You think?
I think he's a hard loser.
He gave a rundown of some of the things last night during that little speech that he thinks are wrong with society, including gay marriage, abortion, the national debt, the drug crisis, border security, and that society has even begun to recognize the right of a man to claim to be a woman and vice versa. Today, we no longer recognize the universal truth that God is the author of our life and liberty. Abortion, sodomy, and materialism have taken the place of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
How's the horse feeling? Did he tell us how the horse is doing? I'm worried about that horse because he didn't like Roy riding him to the ballot.
I think he was a Democrat, that horse.
That horse might know a thing.
That horse might have served the role.
Got some secrets.
Might have changed.
Careful,
Mr. Ed.
I'm trying to change his bad habits.
I'm trying to find the latest Barkley quote on Alabama because it's just gold. Terrible. But I can't find it here anywhere.
Just terrible.
The ceiling is the roof?
No, it was something to the effect of, we still ugly, but we got it right. Something to that effect. Because Barkley's been just pure gold
the
this
other
week.
day, he said the only reason the news networks were interested is they were hoping we'd make ourselves look like idiots.
Federal Communications Commission today voted to repeal net neutrality rules.
I'm against it.
Now, among other things, this could impact prices of popular streaming services like Netflix and Spotify, according to some experts. The Obama-era internet rules were put in place to prevent broadband providers from charging for certain content or better service. The move to deregulate will no longer require providers to treat all content equally. That could mean companies like AT&T or Comcast could block or manipulate content. It could also mean streaming services will require customers to shell out more money.
So if I go to the NFL Red Zone and it ain't there, then Comcast and I are at war, right?
If the NFL's not paying Comcast enough, they may have slowed it down so that you can't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's exactly what it
We're
means.
pawns. That's all we are.
Wow. Okay, Pongo. Mongo. Or Mongo. That's right. Mongo.
We are pawns in the game of life.
Technology coming.
That was in the vault. I didn't even know what that reference was at first.
I only watched that movie like 25 times the first year it was out. Then after that, I slowed down.
Blazing Saddles.
Oh, is it Blazing Saddles? Okay.
Sure. I've told you this. It was the midnight movie at the Mandan Theater when I was a teenager for about a year and a half. So, I mean, there's nothing else to do. We went and saw it every Friday night in Mandan, North Dakota. And so I know it by heart.
We'll take the
Pongo only pawn in game of life.
Oh, there it is.
Greatest line ever. We'll take the bleep and the bleep, but we won't take the Irish. But we don't want the Irish.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
feel like somebody should talk up to the post, but want to try, Ken?
We got Johnny Height here. Let's go, brother.
Johnny Height, do you have the MLB network, sir?
I do not.
Oh, shucks, because you'll, being a Yankee fan, want to watch the Billy documentary, the hour on Billy Martin tonight.
They've been running ads for this all week, and I can't wait to watch it tonight. It looks really cool.
Yeah, when we just didn't we just celebrate the anniversary of him punching the marshmallow salesman?
Yeah, you brought that up.
I think you had it on your show.
The marshmallow salesman.
Yeah.
Tell me this. I've never heard this one.
Come on,
Really?
come on.
Seriously?
In the ballpark?
No, out at La Sofitel. He was in town. I think he'd been on a hunting trip, and his buddy Howard Wong was with him. You know, he and Howard were in the bar, and this guy from Illinois, I don't know how it happened, but they ended up going outside. They were walking out to settle it, and Billy sucker punched him and dropped him in the lobby, I believe, the marshmallow salesman. Yeah.
What a bastard.
And tomorrow we celebrate, don't celebrate, but we mark the 20th anniversary of Augie's death.
Oh, it's been 20 years already.
And we have a breakfast every year over in West St. Paul.
Wow.
But somebody will tell the marshmallow salesman story, because Augie was doing the story for the St. Paul paper, and he got a hold of Howard Wong, and Howard had a little, was hard to understand if you were from Springfield, Minnesota, like Augie was, and he says, he punched a marshmallow salesman, and Augie says, Muscleman? What was Muscleman doing there? And Howard says, not Muscleman, dummy. Marshmallow.
Okay. Can you spell that for me?
And then is it true, Pat, when he came back as manager of the Yankees, didn't we throw?
Yeah, they was out there. Oakland was here. No, he was with Oakland. Early in the year, there was 1,500 people out there for an April afternoon game. I'd have to look. Maybe it was May. But he's walking back from a pitching change, and this guy behind the dugout started flipping marshmallows at him.
Oh, my
Bobby
goodness.
went crazy. Billy went crazy. And then after the game, he suggested in the most blunt terms possible that the man might like men better than women. But back then, he would have been fired on the spot today. But
what led to Calvin signing him? Why did that happen?
Everybody in the organization pretty much liked him. He was very popular, and and he'd been with the Twins organization for several years, and they sent him out to Denver to teach him to manage. And then in '69, they'd had a bad year in '68. Their attendance had fallen off, and then they wanted somebody to inspire the fans.
Yeah,
because the fans loved him. And so '69 he managed, but Howard Fox, who was Calvin's guy, or Rasputin for Calvin, he hated him because Billy was one of the many people that Billy had once punched.
Yeah. Wow.
So Howard ended up convincing Calvin to fire him.
Yeah.
Huh.
But his 1 year of manager, I'm screwing up John's whole thing here.
Oh,
but
that's fine.
His year of a manager included a punch out in the Lindell AC in Detroit, where Dave Boswell and Bob Allison were drunk, and Boswell wasn't quite as drunk as Allison, so he knocked him down, and then Billy knocked down Boswell, his pitcher.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's settle this like men.
Yeah, they had a fight in the bar.
Well, part of this, Kenny, was help me with the Yankee pitcher, the big tall guy with the mustache, and he said they got into a fight at a bar after a game. Was it Whitson?
Ed Whitson.
Yeah.
And so they fought at a bar, and Billy got sent to the hospital with a broken arm. He's in a sling, but he came back to the hotel and he wanted some more.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
He's like those brothers. If Billy didn't find someone to fight with at the bar, he'd fight with a teammate.
Lindell AC was the bar that Alex Karras owned for a while in Detroit downtown.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, John, you got time for two stories.
Two stories. He was, just to get back to Billy, I don't want to say anything bad about him, but everything I've ever read about him is horrible. Mm-hmm. I don't think he was a good human being.
He got worse. As the alcohol got worse, he got decompensated. Yeah, he got worse.
A surgeon who marked his initials on the livers of 2 transplant patients has been charged with assault. 53-year-old Simon Bramhall committed the offense.
What is he, Zorro? That's his trademark?
He's at Queen Elizabeth Hospital in, you ready? Birmingham.
Okay.
Yes. Well done.
In February and August 2013, the liver, spleen, and pancreas surgeon was suspended later that year. He pleaded guilty now to 2 charges at Birmingham Crown Court and will be sentenced at the same court in January. He denied the more serious charge of assault occasioning actual bodily harm.
Who ratted him out?
And how did he mark him?
Hang on. Tony Badencock said the case was without legal precedent in criminal law. Bramhall, the doctor who came to attention in 2010 when he transplanted a liver saved from a burning aircraft into a patient, was suspended when the branding was discovered by another surgeon. That's how they found out.
So he performs one of the greatest transplant surgeries in the history since John Nigerian saved Jamie Fisk, and now we're going to rat him out because he had a little fun.
I think you should be able to sign your work.
This is my work.
It's like putting concrete down. I'm putting my initials on that thing.
That's right.
Liver surgeons use an argon beam to stop livers bleeding, but it can also be used to burn the surface of the liver to sketch out the area of an operation. It's not believed to have been harmful to the liver, and the marks normally disappear. That's how he signed the livers. In one case, it appears the organ was already damaged. As a result, did not heal itself in the normal manner, allowing the marks to remain there and eventually be seen by the other surgeon.
What a big wussy that other surgeon was. He should have just
bunch of tattletales and crybabies.
Should have just chuckled a little and probably inner transplant surgeon jealousy.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Or is this like, when you take your car in to get fixed? Oh, you're going to need a new liver now.
They're all a bunch of wankers.
Mm-hmm.
The manager of a Billings, Montana hotel says police are investigating after a man spent more than 4 hours working to unbolt an ATM machine from the floor of a hotel, then drag the 300-pound machine out the door with nobody saying a word to him.
Tell you which hotel?
It's the La Quinta Inn and Suites in Billings.
La Quinta. Right by the State Fair.
Nobody was curious, huh?
No, Gail Linnell.
See? I can tell you, nobody at that hotel would have ratted out the guy who put the liver in with his initials on. They weren't that curious.
I've told you guys that story about me, right? I was working for a health club, a chain of health clubs, and a guy walked in and said, "Hey, I'm here to fix the ATM." I said, "Oh, okay." He was wearing the uniform. And
Nice.
He walked back by the locker rooms, and all of a sudden, a member came up and said, "Hey, where's the ATM?" I went, "Oh, no." He walked it right out the back door.
Was that your last day at work?
Well, they had some questions for me.
I thought maybe you were in code.
God, you are a meathead.
I know.
Dead from the neck up. Meathead.
This fella apparently
He might
all
have
in
been
the family
distracted
reference.
by other things he was looking at.
There was a bit of that.
Club.
There was a bit of that.
The surveillance video at the La Quinta Inn and Suites at Billings shows the guy come in about 3 p.m. Saturday, walked up to the stairs to the upper level, walked down the stairs to where the ATM sat, and unbolted it from the floor. Linnell said the man then dragged the ATM out of the hotel just before 7:30 in the evening. They did release surveillance video with images of the suspect. They have not been able to arrest anybody yet. Billings Police spokesperson Lieutenant Neil Lawrence says they aren't releasing the amount of money that was in the ATM.
Johnny, we better let you go.
Okay.
I think we can do that. What you got, bro?
Well, we got an exciting show coming. Mike Berardino from the Pioneer Press will join us from the winter meetings about 4:15, discuss what the Twins did down there. And also, Mike worked the Miami area for a long time. We can get some of his observations on how the folks down there are responding to Derek Jeter disemboweling the lineup in about a week down there, getting rid of all the good players. Yep, it's terrible. And
So
then,
they're actually doing something down there at the winter meetings.
they are. Nobody else is. But, it hasn't been very active, actually. And then Kevin Seifert with our weekly NFL conversation with him. And then all kinds of other good stuff.
Along with the balance of the ride, Manny and Mr. Reavers.
Yes, it'll be great.
All right, sounds like a good plan. The ride is next, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuned to 1500 ESPN, which is KSTP St. Paul, Minneapolis. We've got a current temperature of about 18 degrees, and the ride is coming up next.